Hello, I'm Karen, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you how to crochet these lovely Christmas envelopes. So as you can see there, you got a nice little bow for a button on them, and we can do them in different sizes. So just so that you're aware, so if you go to this size is suitable for pack of paper tissues, and we've got a smaller size which is suitable for some hand gel, and we've got the even smaller size, which is what I'm going to be making for the video, which can hold 2 lip balms inside of it. So you may be able to tell by the theme of the things that's going inside of it. I've had a bit of a cold, I've not been very well, so yes, I did catch the super flu, as they're now calling it. But anyway, let's move these bits out of the way and let's show you how to make these lovely envelopes. So I'm going to be using this gingerbready colour because as it builds you'll see it's really cute. Okay, so you're going to need a 4mm crochet hook. This is a really easy pattern. It is suitable for beginners. Leave yourself a nice tail end for sewing in. Yes, you do have to sew in. So I'm beginning with a twist on my hook. Begin how you ever want to begin, and then do a chain of 3. So I'm going to be using the double crochet stitch if you're in the US, and it is a treble crochet if you're in the UK, sorry. So we're going to work into the very first chain and work one of those stitches. Okay, so it looks like that. And then you're going to chain 2, and then you're going to do your stitch in between the 2 posts, just there. And one more, 1, 2, there. So you've got 3 of these little chains to work in. Okay, now you're going to do chain 2. You're going to work into this one here, and we're going to work 2 stitches into this end one there, and then we're going to work 3 in the middle, and then we're in the end. Do you know my light doesn't look the best for me? Just 1 minute. Yes, okay. And then in the last one we're going to work 3 stitches, I'm just pulling out some more yarn. Then you're going to do a chain 2, and then work back into that same space and work 3. So this granny stitch is like, it's so familiar to everybody, especially if you've just started to crochet. There, chain 2. It seems to be the most common stitch from something that I was reading, whether that's really true or not, but it seems to be the most common stitch for beginners to start off with. So we've done another 3 in there. Then we want to work the opposite side here, so I want to do 3 in there. And 3 in the end one. And we're going to finish off the corners in this one. So let's just do that stitch. Just need to pull some more yarn. All right, so I want to do a chain of 2. Yeah, by the way, the yarn is just normal basic double knit yarn, you know, like nothing expensive here. And we're going to, so we did a chain 2, do the 3 stitches back into there, and you can do them in any colour you like. It doesn't have to just be a Christmas colour just because it's Christmas. So 3 more stitches, chain 2, then you're going to slip stitch into the top of the first double crochet or treble crochet. It's nice and easy. Slip stitch into the top of the next stitch, and then slip stitch in between the gap. Okay, and so just bear with me 1 moment. Sorry, I don't know if you noticed that I paused the video there. I was trying to sort out the light. It just seems strange. It's just so miserable over here. Right, so we're going to do a chain of 2 to start the next. Oh, yeah, so we slip stitch there, did a chain of 2, and then we want to work 2 stitches into the same space. So we're going in the gap between the 3 posts, just like you just do when you do a granny square, but we're doing a granny rectangle. Oh, look at that yarn. I'm not even going to go there. Can't control what's happening with the yarn right now, so let's just, well, that's nice. It worked into the back, so we're okay. So we're going to do 3 stitches into this piece, and then we're going to do the corners, which are a set of 3, a chain 2, and another set of 3. So 1, 2, and back into the same space. Yeah, so I ended up doing these last minute. I mentioned earlier, I caught the, I either had the super flu or I had COVID, which is really sad because it was not very nice whatsoever. I ended up having to take time off from my day job. And obviously I didn't do any videos in November because I lost my voice completely. So we're here. I'm definitely getting a weird shadow and some crocheting. I'm really sorry. It's just terrible weather. There we go. And we're going to work the one in the middle there, and one more stitch in there, and then in between this gap here, I say this size is the size that is suitable for 2 lip balms. So if you've not got a lot of money, because I do hear about the cost of living and people not being able to afford things, and doing something homemade is so nice for your family. It's like you've given them your time and your talent. So I do hope my family enjoys all the things that I've sent them. So yeah, so I've been making jam this year. So that's nice. So we've got jam, and I made homemade biscuits, but in America obviously you'd call them cookies. So I've done that as well. But I had to wait until I was well, and so I was baking like crazy over the weekend to make sure that I've got enough for everybody. So remember, slip stitch to the first double crochet to join. Okay, so that's it. So I'm going to just slip stitch to one more there. Oh, I've gone in the same space into the next one along, just to keep it tidy. And I'm using my favourite scissors that I use at home today. I know I've got the pretty ones for the video, but they're so sharp and sometimes I can just be a bit heavy-handed. So you're going to make 2 of those. Once you've made 2 of those, I'm going to grab this tail end here, it's going to go to the bottom. And yes, I do know that technically you could slip stitch to the end, but you might want to add a different colour on at this point. So I'm going to leave myself a nice tail end ready for sewing in. I'm going to go to one corner and slip stitch the yarn back into place and do a chain of 2. And then we're going to work 2 more stitches into that same space just there. I'm going to work across just this top section, okay? So you want to do 3 stitches in each of the gaps and in the end corner when you get to that point. And I'm crocheting it all, I guess, except for one piece, just so you can see how quick and easy it really is. But yes, I do like homemade Christmas. I used to do a lot of homemade Christmases years ago when I didn't have as much money. It was one of those things, I always was coming up with different ideas of things to make for people for Christmas. Right, so now what we're going to do, we got to the end, we're going to turn. You do not chain. You're going to skip the very first bit, and then this middle stitch, you're going to slip stitch into the top of there, and then slip stitch into the gap. Do a chain 2 and work 2 more stitches to be able to create your little block, or sometimes they call it shell actually, when you've got 3 of these stitches. I don't suppose it really matters what the names are as long as you know what you're doing. And so 3 in the next gap and into the next one there. And so this is a really nice little pattern to make for people. And it's not just for Christmas. So you can carry on using it after, you know, so different things. So remember, turn, skip the first one, slip stitch into the middle stitch, she says there, slip stitch into the gap. You see how we're making it shrink, so we're making the point of the envelope. And so 2 stitches in that one, and 3 in the next 2 spaces, or 2 gaps there. And you can just see it just builds up so lovely, and it's so easy. Turn, skip the first one, slip stitch into the middle stitch, slip stitch into the gap, chain 2, and 2 stitches into that one, and 3 into this one. And we're nearly at the top. It's like building a pyramid. There, turn, and we're going to slip in the middle, slip into there, and we'll do a chain of 2, 2 stitches, and then we're going to do the chain, which is going to be the little loop for you to fasten it closed with. Okay, so for the chain, it is a chain of 8. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Turn your work, and then into this obvious little space that you've got there, which is top of a stitch, you're going to slip stitch into there to finish. And we'll cut the tail end off, pull that through there. Okay, so now you're going to have your little piece that looks, just move the tail ends, looks like that. Okay, then we're going to get the white yarn. So I've got some white sparkly yarn. I've only got a little bit of it left, which is why I'm doing it with the edges. Right, so I've left the tail end so we can see what is the difference between the front and the back. Okay, so we want to be able to have it so the front way is facing me, and so this where we joined on for this bit, we're going to go into the same space, and we're going to slip stitch, and then we're going to do chain 4. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're just going to slip stitch in the edges there. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4 into that kind of, yeah, the very end. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we can see this. So remember I was saying it's more like a gingerbread. This one is making the icing, you know, like if you imagine you'd little gingerbread house. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to slip stitch into here, and then what you're going to do is fold down this top section, do a chain of 4, and slip stitch back into that same space there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, slip stitch into there, 1, 2, 3. Oop, that did not come out right. Come back. That's 1 chain, 2, 3, 4 into there, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1 more, 2, 3, 4, and slip stitch into there. And nice tail end for be able to sewing in. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like. So you just, we can see now, like I said, about the little gingerbread house. It's kind of looking like that. Obviously you need to sew in your tail ends, and you can actually sew these tail ends into these bits here. If you cut it off really short, you've not left yourself enough tail end, then just cut it short and put a blob of nail varnish on it, and you can just tweak it just to make it a nice shape. So I've already done one, so it's completely, so I've got the tail end sewn in so you can see, and I've got my other piece. Now before you join the pieces together, this is the time where you need to make the bow. So what I'm going to do is kind of use, let's get these ones back. I'm going to use these as a background because my bow's in white and I want you to see what I'm doing. So I'm going to get the white, leave yourself tail end, look like this. Still the same stitch, don't worry, it's nothing hard. Begin with a twist, and this time still begin with a chain of 3. So it's 1, 2, 3, and you're going to work 2 of the double crochet or treble crochet stitches into the first chain, chain 2 and slip stitch back into the same space. Then chain 2 and work 2 of the stitches. That's 1, 2, chain 2 and slip stitch into there. Okay, and so we're just going to just cut off my tail end. I'm going to pull that through. Now this end, what I'm going to do is just tuck it back through that hole, like so. And then the beginning one, pull it tight. And then we're going to do a knot at the back. Then you're going to wrap it over. You want it to become obviously between the indents, because when you pull it tight, it'll make those indents look even more so. So there. So it's going to do that. And then you're going to turn back over. You want your stitches, because you want your tail ends to be at the back. Okay. So there's your little bow. So let's go back to our little gingerbread house style envelope. So we've got our 2 pieces. So as you get bigger, you can change where you're actually going to add this the little bow. So for this one, I need to go here, but as you go around over the extra row, you can actually go in the middle post of one of those. So I'm going to just put it here, and I want to go, my hook wants to go one side to get one tail end and pull that through, and the other side to get this tail end, pull that through. Oh, I split my yarn. Ooh, not good. It's okay, it's okay. So that bow is actually going to sit right at the very bottom. And then we're going to tie up. I like to do 3 knots for this, just so that it's really nice and secure. You can obviously, if you want to, sew on a button or something else, but I'm not. I wanted it all crochet. And then we're just going to just leave little bits of tail ends like that. So this bit, I'm just there. Now what you're going to do is you're going to, so this now is obviously going to be the back. So we're going to turn it over, and we want to sandwich them together. You can still join with white if you want to, if you still want to like to go, but I'm not, because I didn't want to. I want it to have its. And so I want to just make sure this is quite long. I was leaving my tail end about 1.5 hooks, 2 hooks long for this next bit. So I'm going to put my hook through there and pick up my yarn, and we're still doing the same thing of chain 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to just slip stitch through the front gap, through the back gap to join, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4 into the corner space. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. In between that space and the back there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck that little tail end in there. So remember, because we've gone between a bit there, we've got to go in between just there, which is now proving to be a bit fiddly, but we can go through that stitch and through that gap there. It's only on this one we have this right at the bottom where it actually does that. So 1, 2, 3, 4. The rest of them, the gaps fit nicely when you've sewn your button on. 1, 2, 3, 4. But I thought I'd best show you a fiddly one, just in case you decide to do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is between this one and here. And then to finish off, we're going to still do the chain of 4. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And slip stitch to there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to say it out loud, you're counting, because if somebody interrupts you, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you get lost, you're like, oh, I've lost count. I'm going to slip stitch back into the beginning. Just move that other tail end out of the way. And then I want this tail end to be roughly the same length. There, and then pull that through. And then we're going to tie a knot so it's nice and secure. You're going to go in between So you've got like the little gap, so you're going to put your hook through there and then pull that through. And we're just going to do a chain. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Now I'm actually going to add on, it's got a lobster one. So this is like one of those little spinny ones. And then obviously the key ring on there. So we're going to put the tail end through there. Get you to there. And then do 1, 2, 3. So just pull that through. You could obviously do longer if you want to, but that will then tuck inside. Cut that bit off so we've not got excessive bits there, like that. And then we can just make sure that these are all tweaked nicely, because sometimes these bits will come, so you want to make sure they're sitting there and there. And so that's actually going to be, so this is like the folded bit there, and we're going to then fasten our little purse like so. And there you go. Ta-da! All right, so like I said, you can do all sorts of different sizes, and I do want to share the bigger one that I've done. So this one here, this one has to be, this one's mine. It's my ultimate favourite. I've left the tail end sticking out, and just so you can see, so this has got 8 rounds all together in it, and this is the perfect size to fit a diary. Okay, so there you go. That is how to make these beautiful Christmas envelopes. So whatever you want to gift, whether it be something small or something big, you just make it as big as you want. And if you didn't want to make it like to put keys in, you can always get a few coins, chocolate coins obviously, as gifts to go inside. And it is the next size up. So this is navy blue. So this one's got 2 rounds, this has got 3 rounds. The 3 round one is actually big enough for you to put like a business card size thing in it. Obviously I just put Merry Christmas in there, but that's just the perfect size just to fit inside there if you wanted to do like a gift card, so that sort of thing. So you need to do 3 rounds of this pattern if you want to do a gift card. Okay, so there we go. They are our Christmas envelopes. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments if you do comment, and I will probably see you in the new year. Okay, so thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Bye for now.